What's up, guys? Steven here. I guess I'm about to go play soccer, but something that was on my mind. I just had this conversation with my brother. I'm like, dude is fucking brilliant. Like, he is insanely intelligent. He's a genius, and he writes a lot of in-depth writings on theology, specific, I think, Catholic theology, and I just every time I read it, I'm like mind blown because it's like holy shit, like these are some ridiculously advanced abstract concepts, and he's able to just like break it down and just write about it at length in a way that's just so new. But I feel like personally, I just felt like there was almost I could almost detect like if there was a point where um, the information is so higher level that there was almost a struggle in kind of synthesizing. That's the word I use when I talk to him. It in a way that is understandable and even readable to everyday folk. So I was telling him essentially he has to see himself as like the bridge, right, between this higher level information and the people around him. Because understanding or maybe knowing this knowledge makes you ridiculously fucking intelligent. Like, that is without a doubt understood. Like, anyone that knows him knows that the dude's just a genius. Like, he's ridiculously smart. But the game changer lies in the fact that being able to break it down in plain English, in a language using plain words, makes you fucking wise, right? Because as much as it's cool to know all this knowledge, it at the end of the day, it does nothing if it can't be put to use. It can't be put to use in a practical sense, right? So I was essentially imploring him to kind of refrain from constantly using higher level conceptual words. And the reason is because, um, as I've even kind of talked about before, the English language is so magical, and it's really a game changer when you think about it more in the sense that like you're able to um, encapsulate multiple concepts with the use of one word, right? So encapsulation in this sense, for the sake of I guess clarity understanding, is essentially um, umbrellaing or referencing more than one concept by the use of one word, right? So something like encapsulation or abstract data types, right? Or something like that. Something that's higher level but could means more than one thing, right? Now, the thing is with other languages, like for example, the Romantic language, like French, for example, the way it's structured, you're forced to actually use an adjective to the noun, and actually literally create the whole context of the phrase, right? So, something as girlfriend or brother, you have to actually the 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 meaning of the phrase is set or created by the noun or the adjective for the noun, right? But in English, it's not the same. Meaning, you can say brother, and it literally always means blood brother. Now, you can always recognize when people are using it in a slang term. You can always recognize it. But in other languages, it's just not that way. So I was telling that um, it's cool to be able to use that aspect of English, the encapsulation aspect. But I think it's even cooler to actually um, kind of like apply discernment and basically strive to, even though it's more work, use more words to describe what you're trying to talk about. To essentially talk as if you were talking to a baby, right? Because we were blessed. I always say that. It sounds really weird, but I'm realizing that more and more. We were blessed maybe with our upbringing, the people that surrounded us, our supporting peers, people that we look to as mentors, guiders, knowledge, education. We were blessed with all that. But so many people out there were not, right? And so the thing is, when you're using a higher level conceptual word like that, you know exactly what it means. You know the 3 or 4 concepts that it's referring to, and you have a direct reference experience that really embodies those concepts because you have that foundation. But most people don't have that foundation. And so when you're using that word, you're literally losing them because they have no idea what you're talking about. And so I also found that not only personally, by using more plain English words and trying to break things down in a way that's as simple as possible, you will literally be doing that for others. You will literally be building that foundation to where now later on when you use that higher level conceptual word, it will literally be for the sake of saving time. Because by that point, they would have people who would be reading your content or consuming your content, and if you've been doing it in a way that they fully can understand, they will be being built up and elevated. And so when you're using that word, they know exactly what you're talking about. And I think that's the game changer, right? It's like he's like a synthesizer of information, right? Bridging the gap between knowledge and wisdom, or applied knowledge, right? Through his experience, his perspective, etc., etc. And so that's how he can go forth and help other people. And I'm thinking, maybe if you're a writer or designer of content or anything of that sort, maybe this can help you too. Try to think of how you can break things down that are so abstract and advanced and incredibly conceptual in a way that people who are not in your industry or not surrounded by the same body of knowledge that you are could literally read and instantly understand, because that's how we empower each other, right? It's not enough to just know something, but it's even better if you can teach it to people in a way that they can really easily understand and grasp. And personally, I found that by doing that, you'll actually realize that, holy shit, like, you know this kind of information to a depth that you didn't even understand or you weren't even aware of. Like, you might know something so much better than other people simply because as you're explaining it in a way that's so simple, the things that you draw upon to explain it is just so rich in value and depth that their grasping of that concept is just automatic. And I think that's really cool. And not only is it really cool to be able to help people, but it's even better to realize how deep you've gone with something and how much better not only you are for knowing it and having applied it, but for being able to see how it can serve other people, right? Because we are game changers for everyone around us and for ourselves. For example, my programming, your Gateway to Programming series is literally designed to give the bird's eye view of programming, right? So what it's all about, functions, variables, and then move on to like arrays, loops, classes where it's all at. And that literally helps people understand, object-oriented programming. Like, it just kind of like segues everything in a way that's simple to understand. And like, I literally, maybe even at my own detriment, have tried to avoid as much of like the particular way to code something. So how do I define a string in C++, etc. Because I want people to first get a deeper understanding, overarching view of what they're actually doing. So now later on, when they're actually executing, when they're actually programming, they can literally just Google, how do I define an int in C++? How do I use the for loop or the if-else statement in Java, etc. It just makes it so easy to understand programming. And I feel like it just helps me understand programming better because now I just have a deeper level understanding of what it is I'm actually fucking doing. And I think if every content kind of had that purpose or that mindset in mind, the quality of things that would be put out there would just be mind-blowing. Because it would no longer be about, oh, how can I make myself look good, or how can I show people I know so-and-so, but it would literally be to empower, to help, to elevate, to move, to raise the quality of your life to the next level. And that's so fucking swaggy. Like, it really is. That's that new world shit right there. Anyways, hope this makes sense. Synthesize your content. Make it easy so people can read it swaggly.
And the walk to the field begins. Champion. Dun, dun. Oh, looks like there's a lot of people at the field. Fucker section is in session. What kind of universal shit is this? Looking for a field, and I stumbled on an Oklahoma FC game. Biggest thing I'm catching on, if you're a coach, please learn not to fucking cuss. Please learn to shut the fuck up and not fight with the ref. That actually has an energetic impact on the outcome of your game. So many calls that didn't go our way, probably because there was no relationship between referee and coach. So come the fuck on. Keep it chill, keep it classy, keep it swaggy.
Yeah, that was fun. Got the kicks in. Feels so good to be back on it. 黄色
黄色 这个苹果是绿色的 这辆车是绿色的
这些自行车是红色的
Such a long lesson. Core lesson 3. So I actually passed out to this video last night. It's fucking epic. I might actually share the link at some point on my Facebook and social media. So just going through that. And then guess moving on to the next.
Super Mario. T.